Oh, American politics. President Joe Biden just wrapped up his State of the Union address, which was really like the first big campaign speech of his 2024 run for president. He doubled down on the fact that he was running. He pushed against some of the hesitation people might have because of his age. We'll talk about all that and more. But let's start it off with this big question. This may frustrate some people. Does anyone actually still believe in the ability of American politics to solve anything, any of these problems? I feel like, and maybe this is just me, American politics has gotten so filthy and swollen and corrupt that it's almost not functional at all in terms of really helping people. Let's get into some of the things about this State of the Union speech. First of all, I think Joe did a great job of not having any slip-ups or gaffes. He was very powerful, sometimes even shouty, which I don't have a problem with. These are real issues, things like immigration, the economy, the wars, foreign wars that America is involved in. Some of these issues are really life and death, and so I have no problem with a politician yelling and shouting, as Trump does often. Biden is doing that. He certainly was in this speech. But I don't know, folks. I guess I've heard it before. You know, it's like we're tired of speeches. Show me something, right? One thing I don't buy is that the United States is unified. I think there was a point in the speech where Biden said, the United States, the state of our union is strong and it's getting stronger. I think the state of our union is in grave peril, to be honest. I mean, you didn't even have to look any further than when the camera would pan to the entire room and you would see such a partisan split. And when people would stand up for Biden on the left and they would sit down and not even clap at all on the right when he would make certain points. And of course, we saw this exact same thing when Trump gave his State of the Union address. And you saw the complete opposite. And so any president or anyone really, any politician who says that I'm uniting the country, that shot alone to me encapsulates just how divided the nation is, that you'll have political parties not even clapping or standing up for points made that are actually good. And I think it's because they see behind the politics of it all. And this is with Biden's speech tonight, as well as Trump's speeches. Everybody wants to fix the problem, right? There was a part where Biden was talking about the border. He said border security, passing a bill to get more personnel, right, to deal with the problem. I guess when it comes to the border, my question is, if you're trying to secure a house, houses have doors. And when you want free-flowing traffic in your house, you open the door. I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but when you don't want anyone coming in the door, you close the door. So investing in more personnel. I mean, we've seen videos come out online of border personnel just having to stand by and just kind of just watching people just come into the country. So if the issue is stopping people from coming into the country, a problem with illegal immigration, again, one of the fundamental things about America is that it is a nation of immigrants. It's supposed to be a melting pot of cultures and ideas and all these kinds of things. But if the problem is illegal immigration, I feel like a door would work. I mean, we use them with houses. We don't simply just put more people in the front lawn, more personnel, in order to stop a robber, say, or anyone for that matter, from coming into our house, whether a neighbor just borrowing some sugar or somebody hostile. We use a door, and I feel like that's common sense. But enough from the border. It's like just close the door. He talked about voter suppression. Take that as you will. I feel like if we're talking purely about just having an ID, whether it's a voter ID of some sort, even a driver's license, a form of identification, I feel like that's a very low bar. I feel like it's a low bar for people to have a driver's license, certainly in this nation. Now, in cities, I get it. You don't really need to drive. You have public transit and stuff, and that's super helpful. So maybe an ID card or something. I do not like the idea, though, the side of voter suppression that supposes that any form of identification is suppressing votes. I mean, how stupid do they think people are? Uh, if you don't need to verify anything about yourself to vote, why can't I just vote, come back around and vote again? Or just go to another state and vote and just vote in every state in my area for an election. Or we know politicians are saints, but why wouldn't they just manipulate the vote that way as well and just hire people in droves to just go and vote since they literally don't need to identify themselves? I feel like that side of voter suppression is disingenuous. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. He talked really quickly about credit card fees, late fees, instead of $32, taking that down to $8. That's nice. And here's the thing, people need to be at a place where they can applaud the good, no matter what side of the aisle they're on. I'm neither Republican or Democrat. But you want to vote for good ideas. You want to be proud of good ideas and applaud good ideas. And you want to shun the bad ones. And that's for either candidate. Who cares what the person looks like or who they are, whether it's a guy or a girl or what have you. Good ideas deserve to be promoted. Bad ideas need to be shunned, or you shed light on those bad ideas. Okay, so he talked about banning books is wrong. That seemed irrelevant during the rant that he was going on. I think it was just like something he mentioned in a long list. It was like banning books, Gender Equality Act, raise minimum wage. I think raising the minimum wage. Here's the problem. I am not a big fan of raising the minimum wage, but hear me out. I think that because of inflation, because of the lack of buying power of the US dollar right now, what are people supposed to do? Like, people got to eat. If people can't afford basic necessities like groceries and gas just to get to work, what choice do you have? You have to raise the minimum wage. But in a world where, the economy's stable and, you can provide a decent living, that's where the wage needs to stay. I don't believe in like raising that wage to the umpteenth degree so that you can have like millionaires working on minimum wage. I think that there should be incentive for Americans to work harder and have more ideas, start more businesses, take more risks, knowing that at the end of the day, yeah, you can get a minimum wage job and still be able to put food on your table. But if you want something more, go get it. Like there is an upside. You can make more money. So he talked about all that. Here's the thing. You can miss me with all the like, I believe in you. I believe in this country. I grew up in this place and, hardworking people who built this country. Here's the thing. That's true. There are people who actually do that. It's not a comment on them at all. I just feel like those kind of comments and political speeches are used for nothing other than to rile people up and get people to stand up and clap. Oh, let me just mention, like, the constant getting up and clap, like for everything, just getting up and clapping. I feel like that was way overdone. I think it was overdone for Trump. I think it's overdone for Biden. Like, what it does is it diminishes the value of something that's actually worth a standing ovation. You know what I mean? Certainly some of the things that he said were applaudable, but not everything that he said deserved for the whole room to stand up. And I think there were some moments, he had some people in the crowd, some significant figures, some people who had been through a lot, certainly the shootings and things like that. We'll talk about guns in a second. Surely they would deserve standing ovations, and some things maybe Biden said that would deserve standing ovations, certainly when he's trying to unify. He's the president, so you got to try and support when he's trying to bring people together. But I think that just the constant getting up for everything he says, I mean, the dude sneezed and they got up and applauded. I just feel like it just felt super forced. The gun situation, he wants to ban assault rifles, high-capacity mags, and things like that. My opinion, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'm like, why not have everybody at the same level of power? Is that a bad idea to have everyone at the same level of power? Think about it this way. Go to the day where people were fighting with sticks, right? Everybody could have a stick. we got along okay. Surely there was still death, murder, and war. Okay, so fast forward, you have swords and spears, right? Everybody was allowed to have those. There was no ban on any kind of weapon that the common person could have. I think today, certainly, technology has evolved. I'm not comparing swords and sticks to things like AR-15s and high-capacity mags and things like that. But at the same time, if it is the general standard of protection, defense, and the like, criminals can have it. Law enforcement maybe has it. The military has it. It seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, the only people they don't want having access to these things are the common person. Somebody who's going to follow the law and just not have that. So then my question, just genuinely, is what happens when somebody who doesn't follow the law shows up to my place where my family is with a superior weapon? Beep, beep, beep. Like, I have to wait on the phone until somebody can come save me and my family. Not a big fan of that idea. You know, to each his own, but I would rather be able to have sufficient means to defend myself against whatever. Maybe in the future, right? Let's say 50 years from now, they got laser guns, laser beams, literally shoot out at the speed of light. Boom, obliterating any target. That's extremely dangerous, obviously. But would I say, oh, it's so dangerous that I shouldn't have one to protect my family if everybody around me has it? No. We should be able to protect ourselves with whatever politicians, elite, celebrities, whatever they protect themselves with. That's good for me. Can we just do that? Does that seem fair? Or would you say, no, you're not that important? You're not important enough to be able to protect yourself like that. Nobody's really after you like that. Okay. That may be true. I don't have any enemies. So I don't need that, right? But it's one of those things that when you're talking about rights, you want to have the right to. Not that you have to or that you need to. You want to have the right to bear seriously powerful arms. Fair enough. I think that's fair. Let me know down in the comments below. You wanted to get rid of junk fees. That's cool. Transparent pricing. There were some other things. Yo, one good point that he made. Yo, definitely for this one, if it actually happens, because again, it's American politics. The bags of chips, man, that's serious. They charge you the same price, and then they give you less chips in the bag. It's like 60% air now. First world problems here. But, you know, that I think that was funny, and I think that was kind of a unifying joke. Again, if you couldn't laugh at that, you probably need to take a look in the mirror and rethink some things. Because, again, I think maybe you're putting too much of your hope and trust in the American politics system, which, again, I just don't have any faith in, really. It doesn't seem to work. So yeah, in conclusion, I really think this was one of Biden's stronger speeches in terms of slip-ups or gaffes. It was very coherent for the most part. But until we fix the division in this nation, not just in politics and the partisanship, but the partisanship in everyday society, until we fix that, this is all just like pandering to people's bases to play a chess game that doesn't really work to help anybody. And so I don't have much faith in that. But of course, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Like and subscribe to this channel so you can see more videos just like this one. I'll chat it up with you guys down in the comments and stay tuned for the next video.